Hey guys, it's Luke. Today I am on my way to a presidential rally. What does that mean? What is a presidential rally? Well, it means that there is a person here near where I am somewhere who's running for president. And there are a bunch of people here who support that person. His name is Andrew Yang. And a lot of people don't know him yet, but he's actually getting a lot more popular. And before we get there, I thought I would just quickly explain how people can become president and how that works. Very simply as I can. And then we're going to go to the rally and look around and see what happens. All right, so how does this work? Basically, when someone wants to be the president, we say they are running for president. We use the word running. There are requirements. For example, you have to be 35 years old and you have to be a natural-born American citizen. Now, those are the requirements. So that's not the hard part, right? Registering, that's not the hard part. The hard part is winning. There are many, many elections that happen, but the one that everybody gets excited about usually is the presidential election, which happens every 4 years. So if you run for president and then you get elected, you have a 4-year, it's called a 4-year term. Okay? Then you can run again. And usually the person who is in office will run again. And then they could get elected to 4 more years. If they get elected to 4 more years, then that's totally 8 years. They can't do any more. No more. That's the limit, 8 years. So that's how that works. Okay, so I can see nearby there are a lot of people gathered together watching the speaker, Andrew Yang. I can hear people cheering as I get closer to Washington Square Park. Just so you know what this guy's all about, he's running as a Democrat, 2 main parties. Right, you have the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. Well, the guy running for the Republican Party is Donald Trump. Why? Because he's done 4 years. So that means he can do 4 more. He's running as a Republican. That's his political party. So usually the person who was the president for the first 4 years then runs again within their party. So then on the other side, in the other party, you could have a bunch of people running who have presidential campaigns to try to beat that person so that they don't get 4 more years. That's the situation. So now the Democrats are running, many candidates, and whoever wins among the Democrats, which is called the primary, that's like the first round, right? The Democrats, I think there are 20 people running against each other, right? The Democrats need to figure out who's going to be the candidate for the Democrats. The winner of that will then run against Donald Trump. That's how it works, okay? So you have 2 rounds. Round 1, primaries within your party. So people will go and vote for the person they like. They go around the country. You can really hear people cheering. Then they run against the other party. So for example, if this guy wins, he will be running against Donald Trump. But before that, he has to beat all other Democrats running. Let's go check out Andrew Yang and see what's going on.
So that's why I'm here with you, to help create that wave. Now, if you're here tonight, you heard something like this at some point. There's an Asian man running for president who wants to give everyone $1,000 a month. And all of those things are dead true. But when you dig into our history, you find that this dividend is deeply American. Thomas Paine was for it at the founding of the country. He called it the citizen's dividend. And then 11 years later, one state passed a dividend where now everyone in that state gets between $1,000 and $2,000 a year, no questions asked. And what state is that? New York. And how do they fund it? And what is the oil of the 21st century? Technology, that's right.
You guys got a signature on a baseball?
Yes.
Can I see it? I'm doing a video.
Sure.
How did you get in there?
I don't know how she got in
like,
there.
Just jammed it in there. Sign the
Let's
space
not take it
ball.
out because in the water.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Nice, cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Why do you guys like him?
I think clearly he's very different,
Yeah.
and I think he's a uniter. It's not your same old bipartisan, politics where everyone's pitted against each other.
I really like him. He speaks to me.
Yeah.
I think probably I have like a data, like techie background, and then I just think he is just so different. Finally, there's somebody who thinks,
So the rally just ended, and it started raining right in the middle. I'm standing under a tree now. Apparently everyone brought an umbrella except for me. I'm the only one. As soon as it started raining, a million umbrellas went thunk and opened up. It's interesting because a few months ago, Andrew Yang was a nobody. Nobody really knew who he was. And now he's really getting popular. He was on a few big podcasts, and then he started getting on news networks, and more people started finding out who he is and learning about his message, which is pretty interesting. Again, his idea is basically wants to give Americans over 18 years old $1,000 a month, which is called UBI. He wants to fix climate change. Obviously, most people want to do that. And he wants to give every American health care, which we don't have actually. Our insurance system in America is not that great. It's very complicated, very expensive, and a lot of people in America don't have insurance. Our insurance system and our healthcare system is good quality, but it's not very accessible, it's very complicated, and it's a big mess. So one of the other things that he supports, which I think is really cool, is making sure that everyone has healthcare, like Canada and the UK, which I think is cool. It's just my opinion, but anyway, very interesting to come here. This time there are so many more candidates on the Democratic side, so it will be very interesting to see over the next year which ones get ahead, which ones fall behind, which ones drop out, and finally, which one gets the nomination for the Democratic side to then face Donald Trump in November of 2020. It's like a sport. It's like a game. It's crazy. Anyway, this has been interesting. It's raining. I'm gonna stay under this tree for a while until it stops. And if it never stops, then I'll never come out from under this tree. It's as simple as that. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. See you next time.